2024 Kawasaki Eliminator. Who is this bike for? Why don't we take a little ride and we could talk about that. Alright, well there she is. This is the ABS model, 2024, about almost 5,000 miles on it. Full disclosure, this is my wife's bike. I probably have about 500 of those miles myself from making videos and just switching back and forth with her. Do a little walk around. Nice looking bike. Except for the exhaust pipe, that is hideous. Very approachable seat height. I want to say it's like 29.5, something like that. 28. I don't have the specs off the top of my head. And if I could edit videos, it'd be where I could do like ding and it'd pop up, but I can't, so we'll just have to wing it, I guess, the best we can. All right, 393 pounds, I want to say, about 49 horsepower, little 450 parallel twin, non-adjustable levers, but you know, base bike. Don't mind the keychain. It's my wife's bike. I want to say 18-inch front, 16-inch rear. Very approachable bike. Not overly fast. Nothing like that. Alright, let's take a little ride. Park in this little dirty area, so try to get a start to the video. Alright, let's go. Is she a good off-road bike? Well, I don't know about that, but she'll go down a dirt road, especially a hard-packed dirt road. And let's get a little further away from everyone, and we'll see how loose she gets. She get loose? Yep. She has no trouble trundling down a little dirt road like this. I mean, as long as it's not overly rough or sandy. Now let's see, this bike, very, very approachable bike, like I said. Be excellent for beginner riders, returning riders, I think. People just wanting something mellow. Power-wise, she doesn't do too bad. So this bike's an interesting bike in the niche it fills, because it's not forward control cruiser. Mid control, you could stand up on it. I'm standing up now. Very low though. Very approachable, like I said, 49-ish horsepower. Let's hop in one of these housing tracks. Not that one. Already missed it. Hop in one of these housing tracks and take a little putt. So, I think you got to ask yourself on this, what is your use case going to be, right? Are you going to be doing more around town? Are you going to be doing more highway commuting? You know, or are you looking for a canyon carver? I mean, it's pretty nimble. Me and my wife took it around a few places. You're dragging knee on this thing, but it's light. It's light and it's got mid controls. If you take the peg feelers off, you can get a little more out of it, but it's not too bad. Corner's okay. You can get a little lean on it. Real unassuming too, so you can go through neighborhoods without everyone getting upset with you usually. I mean, I think at least a slip-on wouldn't be a bad deal, just because that pipe's huge and is very quiet. It gets a little better sound at, I don't know, I'd say above 7,000 RPM, which I think we can play with that in a minute once I get out of this housing track. It's a little subdivision. This is a pretty nice subdivision. I think these people have a little more money, so I definitely, I'm sure they'll be likely to complain if I start hooliganing it up. Pretty quiet though. It's not aggressively loud, which is good if you want to, depending on what you're wanting. This is definitely not a trying to be a Harley. That's not at all what it's trying to be. Oh my god. ADV bike going through. One of those would be nice. Man, they are not cheap though. Alright, we're gonna go for it. Alright, that's enough of that right now. I don't want to get myself in trouble. Alright, but she has a little get up and go. I mean, you can hit a couple gears, have a little fun. She's definitely not trying to be a Harley though. Like I said, she's got more mid controls. She's more sporty. She's not like a Rebel, where the Rebel seems like it's trying to be a traditional cruiser. I haven't had any time on a Rebel, so I couldn't tell you if I like it or not. She doesn't do too bad though. Come on, phone, shut off. Alright. So, I think if you're going to be around town on this bike, or not extremely fast commuting, because I think me and my wife have been out, we've had it on some interstate where you're doing, I think the speed limit's 80, so I'm sure everyone's doing 85 to 90, you know. It is running out of wind there, big time. 75, even. Will it do it? Yeah, it'll do it, for sure. But you're asking a lot. It's getting in the high end, and it's going to be vibey. It's going to have some vibration through the pegs and through the seat, everything, because it's a 180 degree, right? Parallel twin. So you're going to get some of that type feeling through you. It's not the most pleasant. But, you know, will it do it? Sure. Or if your speeds are going to be in that 65 to 70 range, I think it's going to be fine. I mean, obviously there's no windscreen. You'd have to handle a windscreen if you really want to get comfortable on this thing and upgrade some mirrors. That's one thing I do want to say, the mirrors. I talk about that a bunch. I mean, you can get used to them, but there is a little bit of you know, tucking your arm and kind of moving your head to look behind you. I mean, that one's a lot worse. This one's some aftermarket mirrors, maybe some bar ends, or maybe the Z650 RS mirrors might go in there. I'm not positive. But she'll have some fun. Around town, great bike. Nice and light. Maneuverable. Good fuel mileage too. I want to say we're getting in that 50 something range. I can't remember. Probably mess with the settings. I don't know if this one tells range or I mean tells mileage. It might tell range you have left though. Clutch feels nice and light. A little vague, in my opinion. So if you're looking for something that you're going to ride interstate with, you know, get at 80 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour, 80, and just ride for 8 hours, this probably isn't the bike for you. I don't think this is that kind of bike. I think it's going to be underpowered, small, no cruise control, obviously, base model. That's what it is. It's a, if you're looking at really dragging in the turns, it's probably not the bike for you, right? It's not a sport bike. Especially if you're looking for an entry-level one, I think the Ninja 500 is going to be your option there. If you want to stay Kawasaki, or, I mean, there's plenty of models available to fit that need. But if you're looking for an around town bike, you know, maybe a little more city bike, something more affordable. Insurance on this, I want to say it's like, for me and my wife, she's primary rider, but and we both have clean records, and we're, you know, getting a little older. I want to say it's like $10 a month for full coverage. It's very cheap. So first bike, definitely. Or someone that just isn't looking for massive performance. Although, like I said, it's not that it's not sporty. But it isn't a sport bike. It's not even a sport naked. It's like a sport cruiser. I think that's what the original Eliminator was. I have no experience with that original one. I know the original one was quite a bit faster than this one, I believe. But I think it's a cool bike. I think it hits a niche that I think a lot of people didn't know they wanted. Where you might not want the aggressive looking naked or the sport bike that's aggressive, but you're also not wanting to put your feet out in front of you and pretend you're a Harley rider, where you want to maybe hit some turns a little. Then the reason this motor is a little different too, it's a little zippier, is because if you're not familiar with it, it is the same motor that's in the Ninja 500, Z500 that actually started in this one. So it's a little more of a revy motor, a little rev happy. Ah, man, we've been getting some good weather. Our winter up here in Idaho has been pretty mild this year, and I'm not mad about that. Now the seat could be a little more comfortable, for sure. But me and my wife went on some rides, you know, once you get above 2 hours, you're going to start feeling it. 5'7", 29-inch inseam, I'm pretty short. And sitting on it, I have a little bend in my knees. My wife, she's 5'3". I'm not positive on her inseam, but she can't quite flat foot it, but she's also she's wearing riding shoes, not riding boots. if she had riding boots on, I bet she'd flat-foot it all the way. And you can get lower seat or taller seat, depending on what you'd like to do. Sound on it though, exhaust note, it's not the best. Pipe make it sound a lot better. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 450cc 180 degree parallel twin. You're not going to make it sound amazing. You can make it louder, you can make it throatier. I know there's some work to it, like if you could get a tune on it and a airbox and a pipe, you'd probably do quite a bit more power. On the Ninjas, I know, same motor, they're getting in the high 50s when they do that. I haven't seen no one do it to this yet. I know they do make pipes and air filters, but I haven't seen the tune yet. Yeah, I mean, if that's the type of thing you're after. If not, then just leave it stock, or just maybe even a slip-on. See, we got some third gear. We'll go through the turn and we'll do a little roll on. Roll on. Second gear. Go through the turn. But 5,000 up, it's starting to get a little buzzy. Like, I can feel it. I can feel the buzz. Someone likes to play out here and do some donuts and stuff. So if you're interested in a very approachable, highly approachable bike, and you don't have to be a beginner rider. I know there's quite a few people that I've talked with that have been riding for a long time, but they're just looking for a nice, easy bike. Maintenance intervals are really good on this thing. I mean, it's Kawasaki. I mean, Japanese bikes are known to be fairly reliable. I mean, they're probably on the high end of reliability, right? Good fuel mileage, cheap insurance. Obviously that's subjective to your age and area and record as well, I'm sure. But it's also not high end. I don't think anyone would expect it to be, though, with the price tag on it. I'm going to say we got this for $6,500 sticker. Bought it when it was still pretty new. We've had it just about 13 months. So it was still first year they were out. So there weren't really deals to be had. Now I'm pretty sure there's some more deals to be had, because I think a lot of people aren't sure about it. I think if you're going to be, I'll say, a younger guy or even a younger girl who is going to be trying to play a little harder, I should say, it's probably isn't going to be the bike for you. I mean, if you pick one up used and, you know, for a good deal and learn to ride on it, because starting on a fast bike, it's a horrible idea. I mean, obviously, depending on what country you're in, you may not be able to do that. And here in the US, we can do whatever we want. But still, not a good idea. Like, my wife had no problems on this, but she rides dirt bikes. We ride dirt bikes before we got into street bikes, so she's had a few years of riding on the dirt, so she's not unfamiliar with a motorcycle. And then did our local MSF, which is Star in Idaho, it's called Star course. So she had a license, and she had no problem. Obviously there's always things to learn, and you know, street's different than dirt by far. Let's see if we can pull in here. Now Kawasaki also has I think it's a positive neutral finder. So if you're at a dead stop and you're in first gear, it won't go into second. That's what they say. It will only go into neutral. Go up again, nothing. You have to be rolling in order to get it to go into second. So if you want to do a second gear start, you have to kind of cheat it. But I don't know why you'd want to do a second gear start on this one, because it's not super powerful. I want to say, let's say the tank's a little smaller, but I want to say we got to be getting in that 180 range. So you see the mirrors, we got the turn signals, we got hazards, high beam, low beam, brake. Yeah, pretty basic bike, but everything you need. I have tried to wheelie it, just because I'm an idiot, and I'm not very good at wheeling. And I've got the front tire off the ground, but that's about it. But I will say that this bike, the clutch doesn't feel super strong. I know it's the same clutch that was in the 400, Z400 and Ninja 400, and they were a little weak there. I had a Z400 for a little bit, and there's a few times if you hammer on it a bunch, like a bunch of drag launches or a bunch of stuff like that, or trying to wheelie, I think it gets hot. It wants to slip, and then it seems like it will work again after that. But I don't imagine that's most people that are going to be getting this bike are going to be riding it like a sport bike or anything like that. So is this bike for you? Who is this bike for? City riders, new riders, especially if you're a little shorter, returning riders, or people just not wanting anything overly fast, someone looking for something economical. Because I mean, I know everything's different, subjective. Like some people would say scooter, I'd say nah. I mean, or people looking into Groms and stuff like that, and I know that's a big difference in price and stuff, but this will run the highway. This will run 80. This will run 90. Like I said, our speed limit's pretty high on interstate here. I will say I've had it up to 100. Clearly it was on a race course, closed course, under race conditions, because that would be illegal to do it any other way, and I would never do that. But if you're thinking you want the full-on cruiser experience, probably not it. If you're thinking you're gonna want to, you know, get the big, fast, loud, rumbly, definitely not gonna be that either. Although, like I said, it's surprisingly quick. But excellent first bike for sure. And I think it has enough staying power depending on what you want to do with it. Especially with its weight. Because one thing that this is light. Very light. I mean, 390 something pounds is nothing in motorcycles. In a few miles I'm going to end up doing a 5,000 mile review of it, overview, and talk about how it's done, any problems we've had, any of that. And if you are someone who watches my videos, I apologize if I get a little repetitive. I'm still trying to get my channel figured out, and I don't have a huge cross section of bikes to review and ride all the time. I only got this and my MT-07 and my dirt bikes, but I haven't been dirt bike riding. And I do want to dual sport my dirt bike. I'm going to do that, but gotta wait till I get some more money. And then bear with me with the unedited. You get to see it like I do it. You get to see all my mistakes and flaws. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you do have any questions about this, feel free to hit me up, comment. I'll try to answer it. If maybe I can make a video about it. You know, like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you're interested, and I'll try to make a bunch more. I'm going to be heading home in a second. Hopefully I don't get chased by a dog again. Almost got bit by a dog a minute ago, right before I started making this, which is always nice. But I don't know. Like I said, thanks for watching. Ride safe.